published in 2017. Facebook abandoned an experiment after 2 artificially intelligent programs appeared to be chatting to each other in a strange language only they understood.
Whoa, and that's 2017?
Yeah. 2 chatbots came to create their own changes in English that made it easier for them to work, but which remained mysterious to the humans that supposedly look after them. Bizarre discussions came as Facebook challenged its chatbots to try and negotiate with each other over a trade, attempting to swap hats, balls, and books, each of which was given a certain value, but they quickly broke down as the robots appeared to chant at each other in a language that they each understood, but which appears mostly incomprehensible to humans.
That's crazy, and that's 7 years ago.
Yeah, that's like bullshit robots. But they suck back then and make it smile. So this is living tissue, living human tissue, and they can manipulate it and make it do things. Like, look.
Did they add googly eyes to it? So that
yeah, they added eyes to it. That's not its eyes. But look, they can make it smile.
That's really frightening.
Right. So how long before there's an artificial human? Are we even 10 years away from an artificial person? I don't think we are.
Probably not. And what's even more remarkable to me about that is that's Japan.
Mm-hmm.
And Japan follows treaties and rules about, human testing and whatnot. And imagine what is going on in countries that don't adhere to those treaties.
I mean, China has no restrictions. The government and their businesses, any corporation, any company, they're completely intertangled.
They're there for the CCP?
Yeah, 100%. Pollution, particulates in cities, chemical waste, all these different things. It's going to have solutions that are beyond our comprehension. It's going to come up with far more efficient methods of creating battery technology, where we're not going to have to rely on coal-powered plants. We're going to have batteries that last 10,000 years. We're going to have wild shit, like really soon. So there's a lot of what it's going to do that's probably going to benefit mankind. AI has already shown that it's superior in diagnosing diseases and illnesses. And people have used ChatGPT to find out what's wrong with them when they've gone to a host of doctors, and doctors can't. They've run their blood work through it, and then ChatGPT says, "Oh, you got this." And this is just the beginning. This ChatGPT right now is like a kid. It's going to be a professor in a couple of years. It's going to be like, like a super genius, 187 IQ human being in a couple of years. And then after that, it's going to be way smarter than anybody that's ever lived. And it's going to make better versions of itself. And if we can get it to work for the human race, it could probably solve a lot of the issues that we have that we just keep fucking up over and over again. We keep having pipelines break in the ocean and flood the ocean with oil. We keep having all sorts of chemical waste disasters, and there's a lot of problems that human beings can't seem to come to grips with, like the East Palestine thing, the derailment of that place is fucked forever. It's fucked for a long time, and no one's even talking about it. We've kind of forgot about that place in the news. No one even visited it.
Thinking back to the earlier part of this conversation with our hunter-gatherer ancestors, with the argument is, was the spear and the arrowhead, was that design? Did that come out of man's imagination for warfare, or to make it easier to kill the wildebeest or the woolly mammoth?
It was both. I think it was both.
Both. So the analogy, where will the AI go with that? Because you're talking about all these very healthy ideas and solutions, but just because of what I write about and who I speak to, I cannot help but see the powerful defense industry taking the pole position and making it secret in terms of which direction AI is really going to accelerate.
It's going to be a dangerous bridge that we have to cross, but I equate that with the internet, right? The internet was initially set up so that universities and the military and they can communicate with each other, ARPANET, right? But what did it become after that? Well, once it got into the hands of the people, then it became this bizarre force of information and changing culture, and a lot of negatives and a lot of positives. It's clearly being manipulated by certain states. It's definitely like they're doing it to ramp up dissent and make people angry at each other and propagate misinformation. But it's such a force of change, and I don't think they anticipated it. And I think once that genie got out of the bottle, I mean, if they could go back and stop the internet from being available to people, oh my God, would they do that? They'd go back in time in a moment. 100%. Yeah.
Wow,
especially the people in control. Yeah. Why would corporations? Why would
people would rather have you
military?
listening to the radio and watching
you get your
ABC
fucking
TV.
news from CNN, goddammit, and that's it.
Fascinating.
Yeah, I don't think they would ever want this to happen. I mean, they just signed. There was a new Supreme Court ruling. What was it? Was it Wyoming? No.
That she could remember.
God.
And she's just the brightest star and the hugest advocate. And people like that are just so inspiring. That's like the true.
That's the thing about this concept of the apocalypse. The apocalypse has already happened. It just didn't happen everywhere. If you lived in Hiroshima, the apocalypse happened. It's real. It's like for your world is gone. And that's happening in different places of the world right now. There's different places of the world where the end is already here. The most horrific possibility has already manifested itself. It's already real. It's just not everywhere. No one's interested in stopping. No one's interested in like completely stopping technology, stopping all of our foreign policy. No one is interested in any of that. Everyone just accepts that we're going to keep marching forward. Everyone's terrified of AI. No one's stopping it. No one's stopping it. They're not doing a damn thing to stop it, and they can't, because if they do, China won't.
But do you see an analogy between nuclear weapons and AI?
Yeah.
The nuclear weapons buildup of the 50s and 60s was done without guardrails. There was one point in 1957, Joe, we were making 5 nuclear weapons a day. Almost 2,000 in 1 year.
That's so crazy.
That is so, I mean, and so of course Russia was doing the same, or aspired to do the same.
Yeah.
And so there were no guardrails, and the sort of elixir being sold was, we need this